What's going on, y'all? Coming back with another update. It's been a while since I had an update, but work be getting the best of me, man. Work gets the best of me, and so is same thing. But yeah. So I got my turbos back from a guy. I basically sent them to him. I didn't have to send the turbos, but I sent the whole thing because I didn't want to disconnect the elbow, even though he ended up disconnecting it anyway. But sent them to him to weld these wastegates on right here. But yeah, we got everything back. I got everything back and installed one of the turbos with the new V-band clamp and all of that. My main concern is the fitment right here. You know, I got my radiator hose that's a little tight. I am gonna raise the radiator up a little bit with some rubber washers underneath. So I'm gonna raise up the radiator a little bit just to clear this just to clear it off of the wastegate. Then I'm gonna end up wrapping this. I'm gonna wrap it about right here. Well, I could wrap the whole thing, but I'll probably just get one of those heat sleeves, those heat protection sleeves, like one that's just enough to cover this length right here. And I just wrap it just to protect it, even though I have it raised up off of the wastegate, protect it more, just to keep temps a little down for the most part. So that's that, right? Still gotta install that one right there. I'm gonna charge the battery back up. I'm gonna run the car a little bit, do a few heat cycles with it, see what's up with it. Holley's still learning the system. The system, you know, the bugs are not worked out yet. I mean, it's almost like I'm running the car for the first time again, even though I'm not, but you know. So yeah, I just want a few heat cycles with the engine, get it running, you know, a little while, change the oil again, run it some more. Because eventually I want this, it's running, but I want this car driving. I want to be able to drive it before the season is out up here in Jersey. So, you know, sooner the better. That way, at least over the winter, I can make the necessary changes I need to make for permanent solutions of different little things, shit like that. But we get there. So moving along, I actually got the turbos installed right now. I'll go show you a little peek at that. Getting back to the fuel system, I don't know if you know, a couple videos ago, I was having a leak from the, I'm just gonna call it the junction. I don't know what you want to call it, but right here where the two pumps merge into this Y collector, right, and then they neck down to the filter. You know, they neck down, they come down to the filter, and then they feed out to the -8 line that goes up to my motor. I was getting an annoying ass leak from here. I was thinking, like, you know what, let me get some copper washers, throw it between the fitting, and maybe that'll stop the leak. Well, me being me, I don't have the right size washers. It's an assortment, but this is the biggest one, and it doesn't go around the -10 fitting. Because actually, one side of this fitting, the outer, whatever you want to call it, is the -10, and then the part that mates to the little Y block is actually the open. I don't know what you call it. The open side. It's not a AN like that comes to that pivot point. It's more the open style. So I said, you know what? Let me just throw a wash and maybe that'll work. You know, to seal up everything. But you know, couldn't find it, so I just threw an O-ring for now, and I tightened the all living hell out of it. Now, keep in mind, when you buy this, this is an eBay piece, I believe. There's no O-rings for it, so I'm thinking it's designed to be without an O-ring. But I said, you know, let me just throw it in for the hell of it, and I tightened it up till I can't tighten it no more. The little bit of gas that's actually left in the lines were coming down. I don't see a leak yet, but I'm thinking once I turn this car, throw fuel back in it, turn it on, and as the pumps are doing their job, I'll see if there's still a leak. If there is still a leak, I'm so over this. I'm just gonna like get rid of this entire little whatever, and I'm gonna just do it. I know Summit and a few other places has the two ANs that go into one AN. And I think, you know, if you ask me, everybody else knows that AN is the way to go. You know, AN is like leak free, you know, of course, if it's done right. ANs just don't leak. Everything else is just pain in the ass. And that's the only part of the system that's leaking. That's the crazy part. Everything that's AN is no problem. AN, up in the, towards the fuel side, AN. Everything is AN. This is the only thing that's giving me issue. And of course it happens to not be AN, except one side of it, which is the side that goes into the filter. But it's definitely coming, the leak that I was getting was coming from right here. So, fast forward, I am going to go grab some, I gotta find the gas tanks. I don't know where they at, but I'm gonna fill it up. I'm gonna fill them both up with some 93. Throw up in this tank, man, and let's just pray to the car gods, man. I'm not getting this leak no more, man. That's the reason why I haven't been able to consistently run this car. So much dang fuel leaks, it's just like, what's the point, you know? So, I'll get back to y'all in a second, man. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let me show you how these turbos, how it's looking with the wastegates. That's how it's looking with the wastegates, man. It's not bad. Not bad. Of course, I'm gonna angle this wastegate probably a little different. Like I told you before, I'm gonna have this radiator raised up a little bit with some rubber washers, bushings, whatever you wanna call it, just to clear my radiator hose a little bit. I'm also gonna wrap the hose just to protect it from any heat. And everything else is pretty much set. Right now, I've decided I am going to come out the hoods with my exit pipes. So I got some pie cuts, and I'm gonna angle the pie cuts to basically come straight up, and I'll measure. I'll do all the measuring and see where I gotta cut at the hood. This is gonna be the main part that I'm really gonna have to get real intricate with the pie cuts, because of course I wanna clear my brake lines and I wanna clear the booster and, you know, all this little stuff. So I'm gonna come real tight with the pie cuts and have it shoot straight out the hood. That's the best way, man. I think that's gonna be my best attempt for clearance, and have everything out the way. And I feel like coming out the hood, man, it'll save me a lot of space. I mean, granted, it's a G-body, so I got a ton of space, but why not, man? I'll be back. Hopefully when I'm back, y'all see this thing running again. Y'all, so we back at my junky cutlass. I went and adjusted the throttle blade a little bit, because last time I started this car, I don't know if you've seen it on the video, I don't think I even filmed it. I don't think I filmed the display to show you, but, or maybe I did, I can't remember. But the IAC was a little high. I think it needs to be, they said between 2 and 8%, something like that. It was like, when I first started the car, I probably was at 30-ish, 40-ish, and then it warmed up and dropped down to about 20, 21. So I'm gonna try to get it back down. I just readjusted. I'm gonna do a TPS auto set real quick. So let's do that real quick. So we're gonna go home. Wait, I'm sorry. Let's go back, back. Let's go. I think it's the Wizards. TPS auto set. It's on, engine not started, okay. Slowly. Successful. Done. Alright, so let's turn it off for now. Battery voltage is kind of low, so let's throw the jump on it. Of course, I still got a drip. So it's reading about 11.8, 11.12, similar to what Holley read. This is more direct to the battery, so the reading will be slightly different. So let's go on. Okay, so it's saying it's 12. That's what it's telling us. Let's go for a crank. Should hear the fuel pumps prime. back. Just want to look at everything up top. Everything looked okay. It may be the voltage. It may need more voltage. Check on these connections. 11.9. Preferably it should be a little above 12 volts or around 12 volts at least. I mean, not that 11.9 is far off, but Holley is real finicky. It's reading 12 now. Let's see. Make sure all this stuff is off. Thing is, we go crank, voltage drops a little bit. Voltage drops again like this. I'm gonna just get my car and just run it with some cables. Just seen it. It's just gush. Alright, so I went to crank it. Had a major fat leak, which I think came from the sensor. I think. Couldn't tell all the way, but if you ask me, it came from the sensor. So what I'm gonna do is clean this thing back up real fast. See what's going on up here. Be back in. So help me out, y'all. What is this? Take 3? Oh boy. Let's see what we're talking. So just for a little bit of, I like to call it ground strength. It's like with these cars, you can never have too many grounds, man. So besides having the battery grounded, just the frame, I'm actually making another ground, as you can see, and I'm gonna ground it to the body. So I'm gonna clean up a nice little area, probably right here somewhere, or somewhere over here, but I'm gonna clean it up real good. And I'm gonna drill and run a bolt to ground it to the body as well. Figure why not? And then obviously with the battery boxes, these things only, this is the Taylor battery box. It only has the provisions for just your standard positive and negative cable. So I kind of made my own. I just took I took my little cordless grinder or cutoff wheel, made a little slit right here, bent the tab until I got that off, and then I threw the top on, kind of did a rough guess estimate, and it's basically the same thing. So yeah, once I bolt it down, it'll have that space and everything will be fine. This thing won't see any movement, but you know, just for added precaution, I'll probably clean up the little burrs on the edges and it'll be fine. Yeah, that's the thing with these Holley systems. They want their grounds, man. And I'm thinking that could be part of me only seeing about 13.7 volts of charging, which is probably not the worst, but I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people with 13.9 or 13.8 to 14. So I want to at least be seeing at least maybe 13.9. I'll feel a little better about it. Yeah, that's that. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that, man. I did what I could, made little small changes, got it to run again, and my fuel pressure is only seeing about, my fuel pressure is roughly around mid 30s. 38 was the highest I've seen. I have it set to 43, and I think it's not holding pressure because of that massive leak I got down there, as you've seen. So I am going to order the necessary fittings that should securely keep everything how it should without leaks, and hopefully I will see the proper fuel pressure, which is about 43 to what I have it set. Plus I'm using the stock regulator that comes with these truck rails, which I believe was designed to hold about 43 psi, I think. So, you know, yeah, man, I'll be back, man. I'll be back. I'm not giving up, man. I'll keep going till I got this thing how it should be. So to end the video, y'all, I made the other ground. I didn't actually mess with that part of the body. I actually just used an existing bolt, cleaned it up really good, cleaned up the back of the nut, and ran it right there on that original stud, which is for the tail light housing. So did that. Ground was ground. I heard to have some extra ground, but yeah, I will probably upgrade the wire that actually powers the alternator, the cable that powers the alternator. Up there I'm running a dash 4, which is probably not even true dash 4, because you know how some of that audio wire is you know, probably like much thinner. But I'm gonna get some nice I said dash 4, 2 gauge. I'm gonna get some nice 2 gauge wire online, how this is, and I'm gonna run that for the cable to power the alternator, because right now that thing is like, look like it's 4 gauge, and it's probably thinner than that, like I said. So I'm gonna get some nice good 2 gauge, and I'm gonna replace that, and hopefully I'll be charging somewhere close to 14 volts instead of the 13.6 or 13.7, whatever it's showing. Yeah, I want it to be somewhere between 13.8 and 14. I'll feel much better about it. And then maybe I can run this car longer, and it'll hold a lot better voltage when it's starting and running.
What you say? You want that thing clean right there?
Then I go back to the just to show y'all, I didn't get to tell y'all about these. These are Speed Daddy wastegates, 44 millimeter from Speed Daddy. You probably heard about those. Got them off eBay. I heard good things about them in the reviews that I seen. For the most part, nobody's really had issues. The most they've ever spoken about was opening them up and checking out the diaphragm to make sure that the diaphragm is not pinched. I heard about some people having pinched diaphragms and they open them up and just you know, fix it, free it up, bolt it back together, and they never had the problem. I'm gonna see once this thing is actually making boost and I have them plumbed up, and we'll see if they leak or not. Hopefully they don't though. I mean, they looked fine when my buddy welded them for me. I got them on for now, so we'll see. So next time, y'all, hopefully, I mean, I got somewhere further. But yeah, that's that 4-gauge wire I was telling you about. That's what I'm running power and the alternator with. I'm gonna just go and buy me some more 2-gauge like that and run that from my alternator. See if we get better amperage, better voltage. See y'all soon, man. Y'all be safe, man. Make sure y'all get out there, do y'all thing on whatever y'all got going.